a technique for creating change in your life that is called developing an alter ego. And if you're struggling to create change, to show up being the type of person you know you need to be in order to achieve your goals, manifest your dreams, then creating an alter ego might be exactly what you need to do. So what is an alter ego? The ego, let's start there. The ego is your identity of identification with self or with the I, right? It's how you see yourself as separate from other people, right? I mean, there's a lot more to ego. You get into all kinds of things related to Freud, but basically it's yourself or your I, that part of you that sees yourself as distinct from others. The alter ego is like an alternate self. It's an other self. It's and you can choose this alter ego. Okay, so you can decide that you need to have this alternate self, for instance, professionally, because you know that if you were more professional, let's just say, you would be achieving your goals at work faster, right? So I talk a lot about identity, and I want to make a little distinction between identity and alter ego, because I've struggled with this. I'm in a program where they talk a lot about having an alter ego, and my feeling is that you don't always want to have an alter ego, because an alter ego is kind of situationally specific. Like, professionally, you have an alter ego that helps you succeed at work. Or you could have an alter ego that helps you succeed as a writer. Or you could have an alter ego that helps you with your workouts, right? Or in relationships or whatever. Identity is all-encompassing. So an identity is actually who you are all the time, not just situationally. So if you are, for instance, you decide to choose your identity, okay, because you can do that too. Not all aspects. We come in with an identity, but we can choose to be a certain type of person. So we can choose to be committed, a committed person, right? And I talk about identity a lot in the Inspired Creator community. This is very integral to the work I do with people because when you choose your identity, everything else, like your habits, falls into place, and your mindsets, all of those things fall into place with your identity. So let's say you decide to be a committed person, right? Then you're going to be committed in relationships. You're going to be committed at work. So professionally, personally, you'll be committed with your workouts. You'll be committed with your eating habits, right? You're going to be committed across the board. So it's not situational at all. It's in all life arenas, whereas an alter ego really is very situational, the way I see it. Now, an alter ego, though, you could develop an alter ego that is one step towards changing your identity overall, not just situationally. I could see that as a step towards a new identity. But for me, if I'm going to choose an identity, then that's who I'm going to be, and I'm going to be it from the moment I choose it. An alter ego, you're kind of working with it all the time, and you become it after a while. But again, I really feel like it's more situational. So when you choose an alter ego, it shifts your energy, and so it makes it easier for you to manifest what you want to manifest, because we live in an energetic world and we're attracting things energetically. So when you take on this alter ego, you're going to find it much easier to attract things to you that you want. But you're also going to find it easier to have the habits and all those things, right? So let's say you chose to work professionally on yourself, that you want to be more professional at work, because you know that's going to help you succeed. And so you could actually sit down and decide what this professional person would be like. How would they dress? How would they behave? What would they feel? What would they think? All those kinds of things, right? And you can make a list of those things. And then you can write a description of that person and how they manage their day, how they live their life, all of those things, right? You can even give this alter ego a name. So if it was professional, you could be professional Pam or professional Paul. And so when you get up in the morning on a work day, you don your alter ego and you are professional Pam or professional Paul, and how you dress for the day, how you manage your morning, what you do when you get to work, all of that becomes part of being this alter ego, right? So if you decide to take on an alter ego and to write this description, I suggest you think about it or read it to yourself several times a day, so that you begin to get very comfortable with who you're trying to be, and that you also definitely read this description and step into being that person right before a situation where you have to be that. So right before you get to work or go into a meeting or whatever, if you're being professional Pam or Paul. This reminds me a lot of voice dialogue. I am a trained voice dialogue facilitator, although I don't really use that tool much anymore. But there, you're tapping into the different parts of yourself, and you have an inner critic, and you have a inner parent, and you have your inner CEO, right? So maybe it's your inner CEO that you tap into. And so you could think about it that way too, that it's your inner self that relates to a certain situation, right? I used to always tell my husband when he went to interviews to bring his inner CEO, not his inner child. So it's very similar to this. And if you want to know more about voice dialogue, look up voice dialogue and Helen Sidra Stone. So, so I think that this is a really useful technique. And, ultimately I'd like to see people just changing their identity, but there are situations when it is important for us to be able to step in to this alternate self. And we all have them, but we can choose to develop them. And that's the important aspect here, is that you can choose to develop it. And when you do that, you're going to achieve your goals and manifest your dreams a whole lot faster. So I talk more about this idea of identity. I also talk about alter ego, but more about identity and becoming an identity and developing the habits and mindsets that are aligned with that identity that will overarchingly help you succeed in life inside the Inspired Creator community, as well as with my certified high performance coaching and inspired results coaching clients. You can find out more about all of these options on my website. You can access the link above for the Inspired Creator community. And if you're interested in certified high performance coaching and inspired results coaching, so personal and spiritual growth, the Inspired Creator community is the place to work with me in a group setting and get that, both the high performance coaching and the inspired results coaching, which is more spiritual and kind of woo-woo, in one place with a beautiful community of people who are all trying to live lives that feed their souls and to level up so that they can create those lives. So if that's of interest to you, click above. If you're interested in one-on-one coaching, please reach out to me at nina@ninaamir.com, or go to any of my websites, in particular ninaamir.com. Click on the link. There's a pop-up that will ask you if you want to get a free strategy session. Okay, so fill that out and let's get on the calendar and chat. Okay, so I'd love to hear about your experience with alter egos, your experiences with developing your identity. But if you've ever worked with an alter ego or you're interested in it, please leave me a comment down below this video. If you're over on my blog, you can leave me a comment there. Tell me what you think of this concept. Tell me how it's worked for you in the past. And yeah, I'd love to hear from you. So until I talk to you now, oh, I didn't tell you, if you've never been with me before on a video, I am Nina Amir. I'm known as the Inspiration to Creation Coach. I am an intuitive transformational catalyst using personal and spiritual growth with all my clients and program members. I'm also an author and an author coach, but primarily these days I work in the personal and spiritual growth realm, and love to help people step into their best self, become that self, so that they can achieve their goals, achieve their potential, and fulfill their purpose and manifest their dreams. So if that's of interest to you, reach out to me, okay? Or join the Inspired Creator community. Till I talk to you next time, go out there and achieve more inspired results.